Colleen. Good morning to all you guys. Glad to be here with you. Oh, there he is. Thank you. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling rested. I feel alive, and I'm grateful. I did some affirmations this morning, and it really works. It really, really does. Good morning, Ileana. All right, guys, so I'm going to start, and we're going to get to the fun stuff pretty quickly here. Let me share my screen. All right. As always, we're going to go over our mission, vision, values, beliefs, and perspectives, because we just need to be reminded. We're here to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. Our vision is to be the real estate company of choice for agents and their customers. Our values, God, family, then business. I don't know about you, but whenever I drop this value on people, I usually get oh really? Like it just wins them over. So I don't know if you've included this in your listing presentation or in your verbiage. I highly recommend that you do. So they can tell you, it's part of your elevator speech. So tell me, you're a real estate agent. I was like, first, my values are God, family, then business. In that order, I don't apologize for it. It's what I usually say. And I always usually get, amen, hallelujah. Not that we're trying to do that, but I think people respect when you hold your values up pretty high. Wouldn't you agree? Yes. So here is our beliefs: win-win or no deal. Integrity, do the right thing. Customers always come first, right? And not that you would know. I'm looking at you like you would know this. Where's Audrey? She knows all the moves. Commitment in all things. Communication, seek first to understand. Creativity, idea before results. What is it? Creativity, ideas before results. Was it teamwork? Everyone achieves more. Trust. Oh, look at your emails, Leslie. You got to look at your emails. Could you go ahead and mute yourself, please? Teamwork. Together, everyone achieves more. Trust starts with honesty. Equity. This is a new one. Opportunities for all. Success results through people. So I'm going to invite our very own John Silva Jr., the one and only. He's going to share some. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. He's going to share. Go ahead and share some stuff about this and how this relates to your business.
Well, I wanted to share just a quick. Adam asked me to share something, just a story around one of these, and I kind of was racking my mind, right? Like, man, I know this stuff applies, and I know I think about it all the time. I used to have the little culture card, right, that had all this, and then disintegrated in my wallet, and we don't have anymore. I don't know why. But anyway, I recently had a listing.
Noted.
Noted. I liked it because I carried it around and I would share it with people.
Okay.
So I had a listing appointment. I know the lady who called me, right? It was the wife. I've known her forever. My dad knows her. And it was like an excited invite. Hey, we're moving. We're leaving the state. Come on over. We want you to list our house, right? So I thought that I was walking into a come list me, right? And it's kind of how I prepared for it, which is a small amount of preparation, which was a bad move. But I got there, and the husband was cold. Like so cold it was mean, right? Like we were walking through the house, he didn't say a word. If I tried to talk to him or ask him something, he would literally look the other way and act like he didn't hear me. Wow. I was like, what the heck? And so the family's moving in together, right? The mom and dad and the kid, they're buying a house together, they're leaving the state, and so the daughter's there. She I can tell this is already a win, right? The wife loves me. But there was a communication barrier between the husband, and I knew who I needed to talk to, right? And it was the husband, and he wouldn't even look at me.
Wow.
Right? And so, trust starts with honesty and seeking first to understand. Having those in mind, I just stopped when we got to the table, and he wouldn't look at me again. I was like, this is going to go nowhere. So I stopped and I said, hey, Rob, can I ask you a question? For the first time, he turned and looked at me, and I was like, do you not want me here? Like, I'm just gonna be like blunt, like, do you not want me here? He said, well, here's the thing, John, my wife forced me to let you come here. I work with a friend who's a real estate agent, and they're listing my house. I was like, okay, fair enough, thanks for telling me. And then I went into my presentation and I just offered to him, are you open to just at least hearing what it is that I have to offer, right? And let me just show you what it is that I do different. I'm not here to steal you from your friend or do anything with that relationship, but I just want to offer you another point of view, another perspective. Is that okay? Right? This was a late listing. I showed up at 8:30. I left his house at 11:45 because for over an hour he wouldn't let me leave his driveway. He just wanted to keep talking, right? Because I think what I was able to share and how I was able to present it, it just opened up the door. I don't have a signed listing yet, but I did open that door through communication and honesty. Just tell him, hey, I'm not here to like hard sell you or anything. I'm not here to steal you, but just let me, just communication, right? I understood what he wanted. He understood why I was there, and it just opened that door.
That's, wow, give her a round of applause. It's very natural for you to be like this, so I think, when you see it written down, you're like, wow, I do these things, and thanks for sharing, John. That's an awesome objection. He humbled himself, his ego didn't get in the way, and he just said, hey, listen, can I shoot it to you straight? And I think every reasonable person could always appreciate and respect someone who does that. So, awesome story. Thank you, John. And lastly, our perspective. This is how the company views itself, right? Or if it could view itself. Is a technology company that provides the real estate platform that our agents, buyers, and sellers prefer. Keller Williams thinks like a top producer, acts like a trainer, consultant, and focuses all its activities on service, productivity, and profitability. All right. So that was actually our mission moment. So I switched that slide. So that's so good. Anyone have anything that they want to share just off the top of their head? Now is the time to do it. Okay. Anyone?
Can I share a quick story?
Yes, please, Sam. Let me move you to the screen here. All right, go ahead.
Just
You look up here,
many
guys.
years ago, the clients that I sold them a house, they called me to come and list their house. And they just bought the house like 2 years ago. And they were, they have 2 little children. So they bought the house 2 years later. They said, we want to sell the house. I said, well, how come, why do you want to sell the house? They said, because we're not really getting along. And so we're going to go our separate ways. I said, 2 years ago, you were lovey-dovey. What happened to you 2 years later? What happened? You have two beautiful kids. What's going on in your world? So I was consulting with them for a few minutes. And they insisted that they wanted to sell the house and go their separate ways. I said, well, of course I'll list the house, but I hope that you could find common ground and you find peace between you and continue your life, raising your kids. So 2 days later, they called me. They said, Sam, we have good news and bad news. I said, what's the good news and what's the bad news? He said, the good news, we got back together. And the bad news, we want to cancel the listing. I said, you know what? With pleasure, I will cancel it. I am so happy to cancel this listing.
Oh, that's a great story. That's a great story. I love that, because it's obvious, Sam, that you just love people, and it just shows, so that's just great. Thanks for sharing that. Man, I love that stuff. That gets me so excited, because what you put out there, you get back, and that's a biblical process, a certainty, that I can tell you. All right. So Mega Camp, I want to remind you, this year it will be digital. We are sending a very select few from our region and from the regions to go in person. They're doing it hybrid this year. We will be hosting it here. We're trying to actually figure out just some last minute, how we can do it as a group. But either which way, there's early bird prices. It's way lower than it used to be. I think it's, I know it's under $200. So,
130.
I'm sorry?
130.
130. Thank you. And they make all the material available for up to 60 days after. There's so much good stuff in there. As always, we do recommend that you attend that. If you're not doing Ignite, you're missing out. It's always relevant no matter where you're at. It's more than just the basics. It's getting down into the weeds. Definitely recommend that you hop in. Can they just hop in, Drew, even if you
can hop in.
Yeah, just hop. If you haven't
Hop
heard
in.
Drew teach it, you are missing out. He brings it to church every single time. All right, let's watch this quick video. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, is it shared with them?
Yeah.
See, Mike is, why did I doubt Mike? Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, yeah.
Well, now I'm signing up.
I mean, if that didn't convince you, I don't know what will. That guy that Gary was looking up to, shaking hands with, is actually the new CEO of KWX, which is the company rumored to go public this year, which I can tell you, it's happening, which is going to be very exciting. Save your pennies, save your nickels, and get ready to invest in that. All right. We're going to have KW Cares is putting on a very special event just to raise some money. There's some need in our agent body, if we can almost think of this as a church. One of our own, several people of our office need some assistance. So we're gonna do something fun, and we're gonna have raffles. We're gonna have a high roller table, which only the high rollers are allowed to be at. It's a thing. Don't worry about it. And there's gonna be hot dogs, and we're gonna raffle some prizes. So that's gonna be Thursday, August 5th. So the first Thursday in August. Right after our meeting, pretty much a couple hours right after our meeting. So, or 1 hour, excuse me. So, hope to see you there.
Is it gonna be here? Where it gonna be at?
Oh yeah, thank you, JD. It's gonna be outside. No, I'm just kidding. It's gonna be right here in the training room, Thursday, August 5th, 12 to 2. Thanks, JD. Okay, I'm gonna turn it back over to our very own operating principal and, as you know, multi-business owner, Sam Raffay. Sam, let me go ahead and bring you on screen here. Mike, I need help.
Thank you, Alan. Okay, how are you doing business-wise? How's your business doing? Are you doing okay? Are you doing good? Or you're doing great?
Okay. Go ahead, shout it out, guys.
Okay.
Good. You're doing better.
Come on.
Can you hear that, Sam? You hear all the
I'm doing
eyes?
great.
Oh, Carlos! Kevin, good to see you.
Yes, you are doing great, my friend. This is wonderful. Well, let me share with you some numbers, because the numbers do tell the story. So you can evaluate your business based on the numbers, some of the numbers that I'm going to show you. So can I share my screen, Adam?
Yes, you can.
Can you give me that option?
Yes, one moment.
Okay, so I'm gonna share with you a few numbers, and these are your numbers. Let's look at that. Real quick.
Co-host, smart. All right, Sam, go for it.
He's frozen.
No, he's just.
It says starting shares.
Sorry, Sam.
Let's see where I'm at. Okay, let's see. Okay, if we look at the numbers, your numbers, these are, the numbers that I look at on a monthly basis. If we look at the listings sold year to date, you are up by 47%.
Right over here.
So listings sold up by 47% over last year. But if you look historically, it's the best I mean, we're positioned to have the best year ever.
Wow.
Okay, so if we keep going to look at the average sales price, the average sales price grew, or the average sales price that you sold, is up by 14.2%.
Yeah.
Now, if we look at closed GCI, which is, this is what you got paid. So you've had an increase in salary. Your income went up by 28%. So if you are struggling in this market, which is considered to be the best market, the best market in history, if the market changes, you will be struggling in a big way. Now, let me ask you a question. I don't have to share the screen anymore. I just wanted to share those three numbers. But let me ask you a question. What is a smart business? What a smart business would have?
It knows its
I want
numbers.
to repeat that. Huh?
It knows its numbers.
Systems.
A database.
It should have a database. It should be technology-based, that you can touch your clients. You should have what? What else? What's a smart business?
A plan for the future.
Systems and models.
Systems and models, right? That's a smart business. What else?
A way to add new leads every day.
It's a business that evolves with time. It does not stay stagnant. So it changes with time, right? Because what things that we used to work 10 years or 15 or 20 years ago, it has evolved over time, right? So that's the business that changes over time. So it should have the proper technology, the system, model, and it changes with time. It adapts to the changes that's taking place, right? Now, if you were to grade yourself on a scale 1 to 10, how smart is your business? What kind of grade would you give yourself?
A D plus?
That makes it pretty
I
cool,
was like,
but 7?
And be fair to yourself. I mean, don't be too strict on your grade. But whatever grade you gave yourself, that is the standard that you set for your business. And your business would not grow until your thinking and your education and what the systems that you implement, it grows. Now, what determines a healthy business? What is a healthy business?
Growing every year, 10, 15%.
That grows every year. That shows a growth time over time, year over year, right? What else? A profitable business is a healthy business. Because if a business is not making money, it's not healthy, right? If a business is losing money, it's not healthy. So when somebody goes to the hospital and if there is any, they're losing any blood, what they want to do first? Stop the bleeding. So if a business is losing money, that is not a good business. So a profitable business is a healthy business. Do you agree?
Agreed.
And what else a business should have in order for it to be healthy?
A plan.
You gotta have the right people around you, or the right people on your team, right? Because if you don't, then you're not gonna be able to achieve the goals that if the team is going in different directions, it is not a healthy environment, it's not a healthy situation, and it's not gonna be a healthy business, right? So if you were to grade your business on a scale 1 to 10, when it comes to a smart business, and a scale 1 to 10, if it's a healthy business, what would you give yourself? Combined, smart and healthy.
can't say 7.
8,
I'll
9.
say 5.
5.
No 7. Everyone says 7.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. What's the one thing that you can implement in your business today
How do we get you to-
that will improve your business? What would that be?
More systems.
Get more leads.
Lead generation.
Apply system.
Lead generation is one of them, absolutely. Lead generation would be one of them. What else? Say that again, say it louder.
So what can you do to build a healthy database or healthy business and a smart business?
Systems that work for you when you're not working? like smart plans?
Automated systems.
Automated systems.
Automated system. Okay, so if you were to commit to one thing that you will implement to your business today, when would you get it done?
Pick up the phone, call your people.
And who's gonna hold you accountable to make those changes in your business?
Coach.
Coach,
Yeah,
team
coach.
leaders, brokers, other
I'm not gonna
realtors,
tell you that you guys.
accountability groups,
Accountability partners.
yes.
Great,
Partners in
that's
success.
exactly what should happen. This morning I went to the gym and I had an appointment with a, they say pre-session. So I met with a coach at the gym and, he started telling me about this, about that, what they do, and I said, give me the bottom line. How can you help me and what you're gonna charge me? So he says, well, I'm one of the best coaches in the gym, and I charge $120 an hour. And immediately I said, man, that's a little bit high, but let me see how he can help me. So we walked in the gym and, he started telling me, do this move and do that move and do this move and do that move. Although I know every machine in the gym and I know every, weight that, what you do and how you do it and what you're supposed to do and all of that. But those small tweaks that he had me adjust to, I felt, man, I'm feeling the pressure, or I'm awakening some muscles in my body that I didn't feel when I come to my home. And certain moves that he asked me to do, I didn't even think about. So having an accountability partner or a coach would help your business tremendously. Remember, we are in the best market in history. Looking 10 years back, when we look at all of our numbers, you guys are crushing all of those numbers. So the market is great. And if you're not doing great, you gotta question what you are doing and what can you change to do great. Because mediocrity is not applauded. Unfortunately, mediocrity gives you mediocre results. And you don't want to be mediocre. You don't tell your kid, hey, listen, go to school, get mediocre grades, and that's what I expect from you. Do you?
No.
No, then why do we expect that from ourselves? Why do we accept mediocrity? Now, let's define, everybody has different goals. I'm not saying that, your goal should be 20 sales a month or 10 sales a month. Whatever your goal may be, and whatever that gives you the greatest pleasure and takes you to your goal, that's where, that's what I expect from you. But accountability is extremely important. Because at the end of the day, we work for ourselves, and we are our own boss, and we, for some reason, take it easy on ourselves. Right? So accountability is extremely important. If there's something that I would love to leave you with today, is that find out what are the things that you can improve on in your business, and have somebody hold you accountable to those things that you want to achieve. And you will find amazing results, by the way. Keep an open mind, because once you close your mind, you're not going to be able to grow. And once you're right, you're right.
Wow.
Ooh.
You're right.
So stay green and keep on growing.
Stay green.
one of the things that happened to me, like, sometimes you think like you've read so many books and you don't need to read it. But man, when I changed that thinking and I start reading again, I mean, I'm feeling, wow, I'm so glad that I'm back to reading. I mean, I'm not the fastest reader on the planet. I'm a slow reader. And when I read something that I feel like it hits some nerve in me, I take my time with it. I digest. I let my brain simmer on it. I digest it slowly, and I want to make sure that I use it. And I start thinking about it again and again, because I don't want to read just for reading's sake. I want to read because it's going to help me and improve me, right? So I expect the same thing from you. So attend seminars. Always have an open mind, because once you have an open mind, you're always growing. Well, I hope that you will have some nuggets today that to think about and put some ideas and plans into perspective. If that is going to help your business, put yourself timeline when you're going to get it done by. Because if there's no timeline, there's no rush, and it could take forever, and over time you'll forget about it. Thank you for your time. I'm proud of your achievements. 28% pay increase. That's amazing. Great job. Keep up the good work. And I'll turn it back to Adam. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. That's one thing that Sam's taught me is to sit, when you read something, read it with the lens of who can I share this with. That's one of the things that I will always remember that you taught me, Sam. Many things that you've taught me. So thank you for that. Okay, next we're gonna switch gears to Frank. Come on up and share some stuff on land. Tell us a little bit about that.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Sam.
I know you all know what a title company is, and you all know that I work for Monarch Title. But there's a big difference between title companies, especially in the Antelope Valley. Every area is different. As you know, you can come to me for a lot of things besides, property profiles or a farm and things like that. The key today is that we're in a very sophisticated market. As you know, everybody wants to know about this, everybody wants to know about this, how do I fix this? And that information is not as easy anymore, because after the pandemic situation, it's very hard to get a hold of people. And I've always been there to help people. I just helped Tiffany yesterday. By the time she gets to her computer, her answer...
I already saw it.
She's already saw it. Yeah, she asked for plotted easements on a piece of land. And you can call the other title companies and you'll see they're not going to know what you're talking about. Okay? I ordered last night after I knew Patrick at customer service, which if you're not using it, it's phenomenal. We had this morning at 8 o'clock in the morning. So we had our engineer inside the office, Pete, give the plotted easements. Very important. The reason I bring that up is because I'm in a very serious, another very important thing that you as real estate agents have to know here in the Antelope Valley. You have to know this.
Hey, Frank, I'm sorry, could you move this way so you're on?
I'm sorry.
You're on.
Stay over here.
Yeah, you see yourself right there.
Oh, okay.
See that, those are bounds.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
should have told you. No.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Not used to, okay, so basically, this is important because everybody, when they took their test, they took a test that says, what is riparian rights? And riparian rights is supposed to be any water underneath the ground you have access to. Not so anymore. In 2016, the Court of California, Supreme Court, took away that item as called adjudicated groundwater, which means that they don't have a right unless they get permission. And you're selling land out there, and people are going to want to drill a well and all these things. So what I've done is I've given you a cheat sheet right here. Now, I help orchestrate this because I wear another hat. I don't usually talk about it, but I'm the director of AVAC. And AVAC's involved with the water master to put this thing together. So I can help you close more deals, and help you assist your clients in how the process of drilling a well. It's not as easy as everybody thinks. You have to get permission. So some of the things I want to talk about here, water master staff. That staff has been, water master staff is hired by, is our AVAC staff they hired, so I know quite well internally. And To drill a well today, you have to go through a procedure. It takes 60 to 90 days to get the certificate that you can give to the health department. Okay, 60 to 90 days. And wells today are costing, with the new requirements, a lot of you guys don't know this, if you look at N is Nancy, and 30th Street West, those 3 abandoned homes for years, they're all being rehabbed, correct? There's 1 well there, and each house has to have 2 10,000-gallon storage tanks. That's the new law. When I built my house in Leona Valley back in the 80s, I needed a 5,000-gallon water tank. So these are things I can help you out, because they're gonna come to you and say, well, what does it take to get a house built here? What are you gonna do? Tell them to go out there and buyers beware or due diligence? You can't. You're not gonna. It's not gonna happen. So these are things where Monarch Title and myself can help you make more deals out. We'll talk about access. We'll talk about all kinds of things. Now, I'm gonna stop here because I know you got a long meeting. You guys, you have training room. We have conference rooms. You can call me anytime, you, your team, or whatever, small groups, and we can go through this item by item by item. I'll walk it through you on the computer, where to get the applications, to go ahead and file for this. And so far, the Water Master has not turned down a domestic well. They haven't. Okay, and I'll get into that at a different time. But so it's not putting fear in anybody. I'm just telling you how you do it, because you want to sell, a piece of land out in White Fence Farms, or Antelope Acres is a better example, where they have a water system, and I want to buy that 5 acres across the street. You're not allowed to tap into that. By the way, you're not allowed to tap into any existing water system in the Antelope Valley if you're not in it. If you're across the street from us, then why can't I tap into that? Because that water system was built specifically by the requirements of the fire department, only for those developments. And if they keep on adding more and more, the water will start to drip instead of come out for fire protection. Okay, so anyway,
So
Monarch
is
Title,
that for anywhere in the Antelope Valley unincorporated?
doesn't matter, great question. Sean asked the question, does this mean anything, city or unincorporated area? Absolutely. Even so far, the Edwards, Plan 42, it doesn't matter. Every municipality, and I'm not gonna get into the lawsuit, why this came about, but that's at a different time when you wanna sit down with me. But everybody, every single one in the legal description, here's the website, it'll show you up to about Dawn Road in Roseman. So anywhere in Roseman, absolutely has to have it done. Anywhere in LA County has to be done. Anywhere up to the Ventura County line, the San Bernardino County line, 95% of that whole region, in Palmdale Water District, Little Rock Creek Irrigation District, if you're gonna drill a well, you gotta get permission. Thank you very much. And thank you for your support.
All right, we're gonna get the energy up before we get on with our mastermind. We're gonna move through this quickly. You know what to do. Get your papers out, get your pens, get your typey fingies out in the chat, okay? Because we're gonna get the energy up before we talk about lead gen. Yay! All right, welcome Shauna for me, guys.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Good
All
morning.
right, so we are going to be doing the Price is Right. So how it works is we're going to show 2 to 4 recently sold transactions, and you guys have to guess the price. So closest to the price without going over wins. So closest to the price without going over wins.
Yes, all right, hear that? Close to the price without going over.
Write down your stuff. Everybody got paper? You have another pen? So, you have another pen? Alright.
Here you go.
Forget that I missed this.
All right, are we ready? All right. First home.
Alright, yeah, you did.
No, there's a lot of excitement going on. I want to enjoy it, okay? All right, first house, we got West, well, this is West Lancaster. 3 bedrooms. 3 bedroom, 3 bath, Built in 2005, 2,600 square feet on a 0.17 acre lot. What is the price?
Well, let's see what the inside looks like first.
I think it's 180 max.
No, in 2021.
Believe it or not, I got my house on the
What's the
website.
value of that property?
So up
You guys got the
there,
prices? It's updated. It looks kind of interesting.
Oh, you can't go over it.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
Don't forget to
Oh,
tell me
so
you
how
can't
last
go
week?
over.
Is this?
now you can use it.
Are you sure
Five
there's?
twenty-five.
I think there's one more picture, right, of the backyard?
If not, have your prices up.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Is that? Oh, that's important. This is important.
That's important.
Important information. It's got a
That
pool,
adds like
so
500
set your price.
You can't change your number
And
now.
it's
That was a technicality.
J11.
And west side.
Yeah, West Side Lancaster.
West side, how much was
Oh,
it?
west
All right,
side.
so let's see, we got,
2,600 square feet.
Five
look, I said
64.
645.
564.
Like
I say
625.
564.
Okay, here we go.
564.
Here we go. 550. What do we got?
I got 560. I'm close to that.
We got 560.
You can't go over.
Can't
Right?
go over.
You can't be over.
Oh, we got 525.
I got 525.
525 right here.
525.
Cecilia got.
Right here, 526.
Oh, Cecilia got.
526.
580, what about?
Cecilia got
540.
Oh, Cecilia
Oh, that was
got
close.
550.
540.
All right, congratulations, Cecilia.
Oh, she got 550.
Oh, yeah, Cecilia.
When did you send that?
Cecilia.
There's no timestamp.
Great job. All right, so Cecilia, your gift card will be in your box. Great job, guys. That was pretty close.
That was intense. It's getting a
All
little
right.
competitive.
All right, next one.
Oh, okay.
Remember, there's a backyard picture.
Monte Carlo.
Monte Carlo Court.
Oh, I got it.
So
I believe that's
unknown where it's located. Ooh,
West Palm Beach.
it looks like it's West Lancaster. I don't know.
East Lancaster.
East Lancaster.
East
Is it?
Lancaster. I don't know,
Give me
guys.
my price.
3 bedrooms, 2 baths,
Built it.
1984.
Well, Zillow says.
Alex says, okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
1400.
Oh, this is
dang.
a flip.
That's my house.
That
This is
is
definitely
that
a
is
flip.
a time capsule.
That's pretty original.
Yep.
Is there a pool?
All right, you guys want to change your
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Oh. No.
low maintenance backyard?
I showed that house.
You did?
I sold it.
All right, you got your prices
You
up.
know what it is?
You got-
Dude,
All right,
You
Okay.
got 325. All right, here we go.
Oh,
ready?
Here we go. 410.
Oh,
What do we got?
I won. 409. Yeah, 409.
We got 10.
409. Yeah, I won.
409.
I already said you my price.
For real?
Wow.
All right.
Well,
Give it up to Brandon. That was oddly specific. Okay.
That's a
Okay,
west
last one. There's still a chance to get a nice fatty macchiato from Starbucks.
Pool or no pool?
Minstrel Drive. 4 bedrooms. We don't know where this is located, so another unknown location, Palmdale.
This is
I don't know.
Lancaster. West Lancaster.
Can we start
Your
putting zip
Palmdale.
codes in?
Built in '89, 2,600 square feet.
East or west?
We don't know.
Yes.
That to me, look at the
That's
air.
West
That's the
Air.
west.
Look it up.
Yeah, judging by the rocks, I'm
Yeah.
gonna say that's West Palm Beach.
You can tell by the way the sun is.
Is that minstrel or minstrel?
Minstrel. No cheating.
What's
Looking,
the spec?
find out where it's at.
It's on his maps. I can see.
all right, so now
That's a picture.
435.
All right.
What was
Here we
it?
go. Last picture.
5.
Oh, the playground.
Oh, the playground. I
64.
got you.
No.
Playground?
No, no, it's not
What's
5.
This
the
looks
square
like it's
footage?
Palmdale
I'm
to
gonna
me,
go
but
What's the square footage?
okay. Here we go. You guys got your numbers.
Wait, wait, wait.
No, wait,
What's the
wait.
square footage?
Wait for my buddy.
All right, square footage for Ileana. Just to show this.
2652.
536,000 it is.
Oh wow, that's
Wow.
kind of expensive.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I got it.
Wow, 525.
Oh, 526.
Okay, I sincerely doubted you, and I shot that button.
Well, Amy was very far off. She said
Amy
$525.
said 525.
Wow, we got
Good
two
job,
winners.
Amy.
We got two winners. Great job, guys.
That was
Wow.
Alright, the next one.
Jade, you guys right.
I was over 536.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh, dang.
Wasn't that fun?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
it.
thank you, Shauna. That was a lot
That
of
was
fun.
five. Let's do more.
Two more.
I don't even need a gift card.
Guys, we do more. You guys sell all of them,
Just for
so
fun?
yeah, we had to do ones you guys didn't sell. All right, so now we're running it close on time, but I really want to make use of this last 20 minutes. If we go over, that's okay. But we're going to start off with a little trivia. All right, so who wants to try to name the 4 laws of lead generation from the MREA?
It's been a while.
Did
4 laws of lead generation. Number 1 is add leads every day.
Okay, build a database.
Add, nurture, follow up,
A lot.
and
So-
send stuff.
It's build a database, feed it every day, communicate with it systematically,
And
service all the leads that come your way.
Say that one more time. What was
So build a
it?
database,
Build a database.
feed it every day.
Feed
Nom,
it
nom, nom, nom,
every
nom, nom.
day.
It's hungry.
Yes.
And then communicate with it systematically, and then service all the leads that come your way. All right. So let's get our brains. Whoops, that's a Donnie's. That should have hid that. All right. Let me switch this over here. Sorry, guys. Okay. So I want to draw something for you. Okay. For those on Zoom, this might be a little bright. This right here represents when you guys get that glorious check. This is the time when it closes. This dotted line represents when buyers or sellers get really serious about selling. So from the time they get really serious to the time it closes, which NAR says on a national level is about 10 weeks. All right? Which means everything to the left of this line is lead generation. And everything up here is follow-up. And over here, we'll call it the transaction management. Okay, does that make sense? So we can look at this in 3 sections. Lead generation, follow-up, transact. Lead generation, follow-up, transact. Follow-up? All right. So what I want to talk about right now is another interesting, I want to preface this with a thought, okay? I'm going to draw another little ditty for you. This right here represents a time where someone buys a home. This is their life cycle, right? Which car? Don't be jealous, okay? Don't be talking that smack, right? The national average is people would buy about 3 to 5 homes in their lifetime. Okay, so let's say this is the very first time that they buy a house. Okay, right here represents weeks, months, whatever it may be. These 2 points in time represent when they buy, maybe they sell and buy or buy another rental property, so on and so forth. You guys follow? So if I were to give you a lead, which I've given some of you guys leads, well, the AOC leads, that's one of the perks of being on lead. Otto's shaking his head, no. That's because I don't give them to you. I don't give them to you.
Otto retired a long time ago.
Yeah, I give them to Bronco, I want to make sure they close. What do they weigh? All right, it's brotherly, but don't worry about it. If I were to give you a lead right here, which a lot of times that's when, oh, you ready? Here you go. You would say that was a really good lead. Now, if I were to give you a lead right here,
No.
is it a good lead still?
As long as you work it,
Of course it
cultivate
is.
it.
There's no bad lead, there's bad agents. So,
Say that.
and that's not a personal attack. If you feel attacked, then I'm speaking to you, but it's a.
I'm offended.
You should be.
But listen, what I'm trying to get you to understand is that a lot of times we live, 50% of the people that I work with or that we encounter are either stuck here or they're stuck here. If I were to say, who in this room has trouble closing deals or see it through the finish line? Probably very few of you would raise your hand. So let's talk about for the moment the stock market. Now, I recently have dove a lot of people who think they're now traders, right? Everyone thinks they're day traders now, right? But truly, I have been diving into it with both feet. And if you notice, the stock market lost up to 900 points. Now that's only relative to the amount of points that there are total, right? So, but what does that tell you? And another thing on the flip side is that there's more trades happening ever in recorded history. So what does that tell you? A lot of businesses, right, and the ones that are doing well are doing mega well, right? Same thing we're seeing in the real estate market. So a lot of businesses are either getting hammered here, right? They don't know how to generate enough leads, or they don't know how to follow up effectively with their leads, right? Okay. Now I would say that's probably match and mirror to what most real estate agents deal with today, right? They don't know how to get their leads, or they don't know how to service, they don't know how to follow up correctly. Okay. But what I want to talk about today is just this segment right here. Because we can go on and on and on and on and on and on, but if we don't laser focus on one thing, we're going to get lost in it. So I'm going to open it up right now and say, shout out some things that you guys are doing for lead generation.
Command ads.
Yep.
Command ads?
Yeah.
Command ads.
I'm going to sit down.
Command ads.
Okay. What else?
What we read.
Sphere of influence, a system, smart plans, keeping in touch with your,
Previous clients,
there you go.
Okay.
past clients.
What else? What are you doing what do you do?
Homebot?
Homebot.com.
Homebot.com, never heard of it.
I like Homebot.
What's
Ah,
HomeBot?
spilling the beans here, what's the
I'm trying to
secret?
give you guys some gems.
What's HomeBot?
It's on your MLS on your NAR. You have free access as well. You like free access.
What does it do?
You type in all your past clients when you sell them. You put their house on HomeBot and you put their email, and it sends them monthly market value for their home, saying, hey, your house is worth this much. It's market at.
So can you customize that? I look like just a floating head on Zoom. I look like a really short guy. Sorry, I'm so mature. I'll stop sitting. I can't.
Doesn't Command do that?
I think Command does that too, but HomeBot, it's specified for that.
Yeah,
You just
yeah.
put in the home value.
You're
the
talking about
address.
neighborhoods?
Neighborhood nurture.
Yeah.
That's the neighborhood nurture, yeah, but that one's specifically for the house. It's customized to your profile and it says, hey, your house is worth this much.
Yeah, can you customize who it comes from? Like it comes
Yeah,
from you?
Yeah. It's
So that's through the MLS?
That's through NAR.
So I gotta say, I've never heard of HomeBot.
Yeah,
Out of all the time, you guys heard of HomeBot?
No.
No.
No? Okay. What else?
yeah.
Newsletters.
Newsletters? What else?
The old fashioned stuff still works, open houses, door knocking,
Mailers.
circle prospect. I think
You
circle
guys-
prospecting is a good time right now because there's so much
How-
good news.
What about open houses? Like, how's that working now? Have you guys
Oh, yeah.
it flooded? I know you did open house for me. You said there was a bunch of people, but most of them had agents. Tell me about it. Any good luck there?
My coach was just sharing how she does open houses, and they're having major success, and they're screening people at the door.
Okay.
So if you've got an agent, go get your agent. And if you don't have an agent, fill out this lead form, and then you can come in. But they're blocking people at the door.
So-
Yeah.
And calling it.
I would put it, oh yeah. I'd put it on
She's using COVID,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That makes sense.
So,
And it's making lines outside the houses that she can take pictures of and post. And
so they're screening clients at the door. They're saying, if you have an agent, come back with your agent.
go get your agent.
And if not,
Yeah.
fill this form out. And then, so what is the form?
It's a lead form.
Just a lead
Give
form.
me all your information.
That is a really good idea. So why do you think that that's impactful?
Well, you're talking about getting leads. Open houses. I mean, in my experience, a lot of times open houses, I get a couple of leads.
Yeah.
But then, like you said, everybody's got an agent,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so it was. I mean, I started just sitting there making phone calls, right?
Right.
And then I don't know, I got lazy with it.
Yeah.
But for me, that just. I mean, you want to guarantee you're going to get some leads.
Yeah,
Don't
because
let 'em in.
you almost test their loyalty to their agent
Because
too.
a lot of
like-
times, right, you let them walk in the house and it's like, oh, please fill this out. And they're like, oh, no, thanks. Right? You want to go in the house, you fill it out. Guarantee yourself a lead.
You guys on Zoom hearing that? Could someone type a
I
yes?
haven't done it yet, but I like the idea.
Yeah, could you guys
Great.
give me some feedback? Okay, cool. That's a really good idea. And what I like about it is because, you know, before, by the way, getting someone's information at the door is ancient, right? It's, but now the issue is like, well,
QR code.
yeah,
Have
who's gonna
fun.
say no because of the pandemic? I mean, like, it's kind of an excuse that we can lean on. I say go for it. The QR code for the lead form,
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
your car, fill this out.
So if you're just like, hey, scan here, and you watch them just beep, fill it out,
If you want AC, fill this out.
had it in a nice little laminate like thing.
Yeah. yeah.
Love it, guys. That's a really good idea. What else?
One of the things that I started doing my second year in the business was pretty much just screen the clients too, because you know a lot of times there's a lot of people there just window watching. So I create this form that's like a little phone application, and what I think is as long as they give you all the information, then they're real buyers. If they don't give you the real information, or they're not well to give you the information, then they're just checking places out.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. So that's, I love that. That's really good. What else? I'm trying to, I have some ideas for you, but I wanna hear from you first.
Postcard?
Postcards. This is what you guys are actively doing right now for Lead Generation. So tell me about it, Otto.
Also, usually, when Lorena closes a deal, we send between 200 to 300 postcards around the same property.
200 postcards? Yeah. I don't know if Mike Watson's on this thing, but that's his, that's one of his go-to. He'll send a couple thousand.
Command makes it super easy.
Letters.
Letters.
Letters. I don't know if he's doing postcards too, but he's
Not
doing
postcards,
letters.
he does
He's
letters.
doing letters. I know it because I've gotten them.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm like,
have
I'm
too.
freaking stealing this.
I have two.
And
So, but it's systematic, it's every time he closes
Every
the
time,
listing,
right.
it goes, that's his thing.
It's working.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, actually, she sends 3 for the same property. One as soon as gets listed,
Uh-huh.
pending, and when it's sold, she sends another one.
Oh, wow.
So she
So
sends
how
like
much,
600.
if you don't mind me asking, how much are you, because you guys do a lot of business, so is this every time you close a deal? Wow.
Well, actually, she just started at the beginning of this year,
Okay,
yeah.
so it's just, okay, very good. So you find that that's been working, you've been getting
And then-
leads?
And then she has a system where she sends everything to FedEx to print the postcards, which ironically does it, I believe it's like $69 for 200 or 300.
Oh, okay.
So it's really cheap, it's not that much.
Yeah.
And then she gets the labels through Frantonado,
Mm.
around the area.
Right,
Don't
yeah.
need to print them out though.
Definitely a good resource if you're gonna go, I think actually farming is gonna be one of the most underutilized, tools now because people are at home. It's still a great time to target a farm them and get with the title rep that's gonna give you details on how to do that. All right, so what else, guys? What else are you doing for lead generation? I think the idea of the day right now is screening them at the door because that just guarantees you're gonna get leads.
Right.
Yeah, I think, I mean, you know, it's always about your sphere, your database, and having it on a smart plan or an automated system. So I have my biggest supporters, which is 40 people in total, and another group that's 80, they all refer business to me.
Yeah.
So I have them on a 5x5x5 smart plan, gives me a notification once a month to reach out to them, right? And right now I don't have a set plan on what I'm gonna do every month, like long haul. But I have an idea of what I'm going to do that month. So last month was 4th of July, right? It actually sent out an automated text. So they have text that's already lined up in there. They'll send them out, I think, once a quarter or like 5 texts. And they're different. So they automatically send them out to the database to those people. So when the notification comes up that I should reach out to them, I just check the timeline. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't need to. It's already did it for me.
Right.
But on the months that I hasn't reached out to them, that's when I do the phone call just to check in. I mean, I think everyone should have everyone should be identify the people that is sending them business and reach out to them once a month. Whether it's coffee, breakfast, postcard, birthdays. So at the beginning of the month, I made sure I called everyone and got their birthdays. So
How can you find their birthdays really easily?
reach out to them.
No.
Or Facebook.
Thank you.
But I figure, if
Everyone
you-
puts their thing on there and you just,
I would say no. The reason being is it's very easy to go to Facebook and then get the info. If you gotta make a contact and you're filling out their information anyways, call them and ask them.
either which way, I don't think you can lose. So the cool thing, and the cool thing about the smart plan, whether you call them ahead of time or not, is it texts them 3 days before.
Right.
It says, hey, I know you have a birthday coming up. Like, that would throw me off, right, if, in a good way. So, but yeah, any excuse to make a call, say, hey, JD, really quick, when's your birthday? This is random, but what's your birthday?
So I've done that, and out of experience, I've had people feel weird on the phone because they don't want to share their age. So I would suggest, like, if we do, I don't know, like, not like their age, but like, when's your birthday? And they like tell me just the month and day. They don't
Yeah.
like tell me the year, you know, which is fine. I tell them. So like now I've realized like when I do ask for it, I don't ask for the year, just the month and day, and it ends up being way easier. Cause I've done it before, just
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, when's your birthday? They're like,
I could be your dad. I'm like, okay.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's like some feel weird, or like women would feel more weird too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a reality. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So that Facebook thing, I think, is the easier way to it. And then when you call, month and day only.
Yeah.
Keep it like it's right, month and day.
I mean-
I don't know, because I've had experience. And that's not
that's
maybe
true.
I'm doing it wrong.
I think
Maybe
you
I'm
need to
asking wrong.
work on scripts. You have them on
Yeah.
Monday through Friday.
So I want to share with you a couple things that your competitors are doing, if that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, baby.
How dare you?
Well, listen, I take meetings on purpose just so I can find out. And
Secret spy?
secret spy. And I tell them right up, yeah, okay. So your competitors right now are thinking in terms of bundles. They're bundling their services, right? And the language around it is, I can discounting my commission is always the go-to, right? Well, what if I don't have to discount my services, discount my commission, net you the same amount of money, right? Or net you the money that you want, all right, and I get my commission. So it's kind of basic, but you gotta word it correctly. You gotta present it correctly. So the first idea is mortgage and insurance. Mortgage and homeowners insurance. What kind of bundles can you provide? Well, you have Keller Mortgage and Keller Covered. Now, Keller Mortgage is a tool. It is not there to replace existing relationship. It's not there to be a substitute. It is a tool in your tool belt. Because when most people have this idea that discounting, like paying less for something is better. Like, when did that idea get adopted? Right? It's when the lack of value is perceived, then they're looking at the dollar price. So how valuable do you make yourself to people? Do you even know how valuable you are? Well, I would say no. I would say all of us can use a lesson in that. So mortgages and insurance, right? So just so you know, this is how your competition lead generates. This is how they get eyeballs. The way that they present their bundles. So how are you lead generating in that fashion as well? And ultimately, it's about providing options. The second thing I want to talk about is to our own apparel getting stuck in either one of these categories. So, and we're seeing it in the stock market as well, these businesses are just getting annihilated because they can't keep up, they can't effectively do it. And I'm going to petition to you that the very same thing will happen to real estate agents in the real estate market. Go ahead, Brandon.
So I've been thinking about this a lot lately too. I think getting stuck in the same systems and models that everybody preaches over and over.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think of it like how a normal business would think of it. Like, what is the value and what is your offer at that you're giving to these clients, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, you're prospecting for this, but what is the intrinsic value of the
Yeah.
service you're doing?
Yeah.
So offer, because in any market, you're trying to identify a problem and bring a solution to it.
Mm-hmm.
So how can you bundle different services and package it in a way where you're identifying a fear or an issue that they really see and they're not even aware of it,
Right.
right?
Right.
And then bringing that in a package like moving sucks. Let's
Right.
take the stress off your back and here's this concierge level package
Right.
that
So-
we can provide to you.
Because for follow-up, so for follow-up, for example, like what he's saying, even through the end of the transaction, we have Move Guru, and what's the other one that we have? Well, Move Guru is one of them. We've talked about it many times. They help the client get the best possible deal when switching their utilities, when shopping for anything and everything regarding moving. They get discount codes. And they're all over the place. They're all over them. Go ahead, Jason.
Isn't that KW360 Connect, something like that? I remember you guys brought it up in a meeting.
Say it again.
KW360 Connect. I could be wrong, but I remember in the meeting someone come on and they said like they handle all the utilities and moving and all that.
Yes, so I believe what you're talking about is still under Move Guru. Like
Oh.
it's Move Guru is the company, and then they have a service for KW agents in particular.
Right.
So but here's the thing, is it just reminds, again, if we don't know what we need, we don't know what we need to talk about.
Right.
So, but we're not here to talk about follow-up, but let's just say lead generation, right? Like he said, identifying a problem and saying, it's the top 3 most stressful things you can go through is moving. Are you moving soon? Do you have all the details planned out? Let me help you. I have a bulletproof plan from start to finish. I'm just gonna throw Move Guru up there for right now. Okay, so I have a few ideas that I'd like to share with you, some unique lead generation ideas that I wanna leave you with today, if that's okay. Who here has their probate certs? Good for you. Who else? No one? Think about it. It's just under $200. You can get certified on car.org. You can go to the local courthouse.
If you go in the car website, sometimes they have it at half price.
Yeah, they do, yeah. So if you're a probate specialist, I know that Marvin does probates because he has a relationship with lawyers. Do you have a relationship with a divorce attorney? Should you?
Yes.
I do. I give leads, but I give leads out. I'm in the business of giving out leads. I'm not trying to close them for myself. Right? Are you owning that niche? You could. Probate cert, go and do it. Here's another really good one. So I'm gonna throw that one on there if you don't mind. I have 5 for you. Leather bound how-to books. How your house works. Not every house might need it, but if you have a house that's got all these upgrades, a pool, a thermostat that's smarter than you, right? A nice leather bound with your information stamped on the front of it. Nobody's gonna throw away a how-to manual on how their house works. And it gets passed on to the next person who sold it with another real estate. Hopefully you, right? But they get passed on to the next owners. The best single piece of marketing tool I have probably ever heard as far as this graph that we discussed here. Does that make sense? Leather bound how-to book. I went online and looked at it. They're between $30 and $50 depending on how you want to go. So you get half of it, you can write half of it off. Okay. So for your VIP, well, he just left, but for your top clients, your top 20 people that refer you business that you've done business with in the past, what if you reached out to a window washer, a local window washer, and you said, what kind of discount would you give me if I gave you 10 homes or 20 homes to wash? It doesn't have to be free, it just has to be at a discount, 20-30%. Actually, how you say it is you say, will you, for 20-30% off the total price, service these 20 people to wash their homes? And then you call them and you say, if I can get this, and here's the thing, leave it up to you if you pay it for them or not. It's up to you. Or you get it to them at a half price, whatever. Offer it as a value proposition to wash their windows. Didn't think about that, but they wash inside and outside in those nasty cracks where all the cucarachas and spider webs are at. Okay? Hopefully there's no cucarachas in your house. We live in a very windy, sandy place. Last two. What if you took $500 and you went to your top 10 clients and you sent them a mobile detail for $50? You send them to your house.
What's that? What was
Like a car detail, a car detail. I get my car detail all the time. I know, like, not everyone's like me, but a clean car, it drives different. It drives a little faster. It absolutely does. A little smoother on the corners, right?
17 horsepower, proof.
So what if you did $500, dedicated that, and you went to your top 5 list? And I just want to thank you for doing business with me and sending me business. I want to get your car clean, and I'm sending them to your house later. When's a good time for you?
That's awesome.
That's probably one of my favorites.
Your attitude changes when your car is clean.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I used to be a messy, I've always been a clean guy, but my room was messy and stuff like that. Now I'm the total opposite. The total opposite. All right, last one, guys. Charity. Charity for vets. So here in our town, vets, there's a heart here for the vets. So what if you did a combination of a client appreciation plus a fundraiser for the local veterans? Veterans Affairs, right, where they give, but it's locally based. I forget what it's called. Excuse me.
There's one here, Vets for Vet.
There is Vets for Vet. Thank you. The manager there is named Bruce, and who won't want to help the vets? And then if you combine it with a client appreciation, you get a couple of your vendors. Okay. Now I want to end today. I hope this got the brain rattling. I hope you get at least one good nugget out of here. This was the intention. Next week, we're going to go over this, and we're going to talk about who's doing what for follow-up, and then the following week we'll go over this. So the idea is to keep it open-ended. Hopefully you get good ideas and you learn something. I want to end on a quick story, if you don't mind. So there was a man walking through an elephant camp. And as he was looking around, he noticed that all these huge elephants were being held by a very small rope. And he's confused. And so he looked and found a trainer nearby, and he asked him, why don't these elephants just break loose? Why aren't they in huge cages? And the trainer said that when they were young, these ropes were strong enough to hold them. And they adopted the belief as they grew up that this rope was still strong enough to keep them back. So they didn't even try to break free. So the moral of the story is this. No matter what the world throws at you, no matter what hard times you're going through, belief is the single most important step you can take in moving forward, no matter what anyone has to say to you. Amen?
Amen.
Thank you for joining today, guys. You guys have a blessed day.
Impactful one.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Good.
I thought you were telling a different elephant story.
It's the same one every time.
Which one's that?
That's the one where he's trying to put the plug back in the elephant. Another setting.
Another time.
Thank you.
Oh, that's wow.
Oh, yeah.